Hey guys, this is Kiara, and today we are doing something a little bit different. Today we are going to be doing a tutorial for Sengoku Night Blood, because I feel like this is probably one of the few games that I semi-regularly play that doesn't really have a lot of information out there. So yeah, I know I think someone requested a tutorial for this, so here you go. And for any other person who may be interested in getting started with the game. I will also be including links in the description to the wiki page, to the official Twitter page, to the English translation Twitter page, and I think to maybe a blog of where someone gives a little bit more in-depth run of how to get started with the game. So without further ado, this is the page that you are greeted with when you first come in after you get your sign-in bonuses and stuff like that. So we'll go over everything on here before we get a little deeper. So at the top left-hand corner, we have the rank that you are and then how much more you need until you level up, basically. Next to that, you have your BP, which is basically your LP, your stamina, whatever you want to call it. You can refill using your diamonds, or as of right now, there is an event going on where you can refill using rice balls. The rice balls expire once the event ends, so you can't really hoard them as of right now until they change that. So next over here, you have coins, which you get a lot of coins in this game, and you basically just use them to do, like, basically your friend scouts. So, pretty much kind of useless, once you actually get a decent team going on. And then over here, you have your premium currency, which is, I don't even know what they're officially called. I just call them diamonds because they're shaped like diamonds. Alright, so on the left-hand side, we have the info box, which just pops up when you first sign in, and it basically just gives you all the news. We have the present box, which is where all of your presents go. I need to collect my stuff. Again, the BP refill items expire at the end of the season, the end of the event season, so there's no point in hoarding. And then you have your missions, which these change daily, and you can get potions and coins. That's about it. Alright, so, of course right here, we have the boy that you set as your main. I actually forgot how to do that, but I guess maybe we'll find out as we go into this game. So, we have your scrolling bar, which basically just tells you news, new scouting boxes, stuff like that, like any other game. So let's get down to the nitty-gritty. First off, we have the pink button. This takes you to your card page, but this isn't your card list. Basically, this takes you to this page where you can increase your card stats using potions. At the top, you see that you can have pink potions, yellow potions, blue potions, and green potions. You earn the potions by doing tours. Think sort of Token Rambu-esque. It's very similar to Token Rambu in that respect. I'll go into more depth for people who maybe have never played Token Rambu. But you earn those from random drops, and then you use them basically to increase your card stats. You need to do this because maybe you could clear the main story without doing this, but events will be extremely hard for you to complete if you do not increase your card stats. Like, you will get knocked out very quickly. It will be hard for you to complete, beat bosses, basically. Again, I'll go a little bit more in depth with that, but that's where you go to increase your card stats. And when a card is idolized, they will have you see a little foil around the card that designates that the card has been awakened. The red sort of bookmark indicates that a card, it has an event point bonus for an event currently going on. So as you guys can see, this card will give me more event points if I use it during the event. So yeah, that's pretty much that. Next, we have the green button, which this is basically your stories. You have 3 types of stories. You have the main story. These stories are unlocked using keys, which at the top you see I have 3 keys currently. You get keys every time you level up. They can range between 1 and 2 keys, and I think they alternate based probably on even and odd numbers. I don't know for certain, but basically to unlock a story, you just go in. It'll give you a list of chapters. You click on one that is highlighted blue and locked. It'll ask if you want to use your diamonds or if you want to use your key. Obviously, use your key, and you can get you'll get diamonds from completing stories. So next, you have your card stories. Card stories are unlocked by basically upping your stats. So that's another reason to increase your card stats, is to unlock their character stories. But 5-star card stories unlock at when they're at 90%. So as you guys can see, my game is being a troll right now. I'm at 89.8. So in 0.2%, I will unlock his story. Whereas opposed to this guy, I've already unlocked his story. He's at 200%. He doesn't have multiple stories, but there's a reason I brought him to 200% as opposed to just 100. So yeah, that's card stories. And then you have your event story, which event stories unlock the same way for any gacha game. Basically, the more event points you get, the more stories that you unlock. So that's pretty much that. And that is stories. Next, we have the blue button, which is where you will be going to the most. This is where the main game is and where you basically do your tours. I don't know what they're officially called. I'm just calling them tours. So you have 4 types. You have your main story tab, which is the blue. And this will bring you to basically a long list of tours. I highly recommend to go through every single one and to try and do all of the tasks for every single one, because for every single star you get a diamond. And then I want to say for completing it, you also get a diamond. And then depending on if you fulfill the tasks that are up here, whatever they may say, you can get an extra bonus, which can be coins. Sometimes they can be cards, like you guys can see right here. It just depends. Next, we have PvP. This is where you can go up against other players. While at first I could do this, I haven't been here for a long time. My teams aren't the best. I mean, this is my main team that I use. I'm at 227, so I'm okay. I could actually take on a good portion of these people, except for, like, this guy. Next we have, I guess, sort of like mission or potion-specific tours. I want to say you do these tours if you're looking for a particular color of potion, because certain potions help certain units, and it's not based off like what color type they are. I don't know the specifics for that, but I don't really go here that much, but that's an option. And then you have your event tours, which is where you go to do your event. Which it's been a while since I have actually done the tour for this game, so I will actually show you guys. I'm gonna show you the main tour, and then I'll show you an event tour to give you sort of an idea of what they look like. They're pretty much all the same. So it'll tell you how much BP you need to use. You can pick whatever team you want to use, and then you go in a la Token Ranbu-esque. So when I say that it is Token Ranbu, very similar to Token Ranbu, basically you pick your team that you want to use, and then you send them into battle. All of this is automated. You don't pick anything. You don't choose who attacks who, what, when, where, what. You don't do any of that. The only thing that you can do is either go to your settings. You can go to your settings, which is the not screwdriver, but the wrench. You can go faster, which it just speeds it up by like 2. You can skip it altogether, which is with the third option is, or you can surrender, which I'm not going to do that because that's a waste of stamina and I can beat this. I actually skipped through it too fast, but I'll actually touch on it in the event one. But after a battle ends, it'll display everything that's dropped, how much experience you get, and then how much experience your characters get. Now, I'm actually wanted to display what happens when you take like a weaker team, because I have this team for reasons. So you guys might have seen, but at the bottom left-hand corner there was a diamond that had 3 out of 3 right here in the green. So that is basically the amount of like healing that you can do, which doesn't help me in this regard because they can easily knock out 1 stars. Which, I mean, that's fine. They might actually... Here we go. So you'll get to this point where if your sword reaches yellow or red, they will stop in front of you and ask you to heal you. Press and holding will get them to heal. You will heal them, and you see that your number goes down instead of 3 out of 3 to 2 out of 3. And that just repeats until you're out of heals, and then you're kind of out of luck. Now, obviously, normally I would not take this team unless I'm trying to do like a specific task. Like if it says I have to use like all 1 stars on the team, then that's the reason why I have this team. But I'll touch more on that when we get to the actual team building page, because I will kind of let you know what you guys will tend to see a lot. So as you guys saw, there was well, you're about to see what happens when you lose. This is what happens when you lose. And then it'll ask you, it'll tell you if you have any items that dropped, it'll tell you, hey, you have these items. Do you want to refresh, basically start where you were? And it uses 1 diamond. I'm not going to do that just because I don't feel like it. And then it just takes you back. So that's that. And I'm actually going to see if I can trigger the event boss, because basically doing regular tours gets you event points, but the main way to get points in the event is to fight up against bosses. So I'm actually going to see if I can trigger one of these. Probably not, because that's my luck. But alright, I'm just gonna skip because I can easily beat them with this team. Alright, so you guys see the flowers down here are how many points I got. And it switches, but it's basically all the same thing. So, nope, didn't trigger it. Hahaha. But yeah, that's the main thing. And then the events are fairly similar to, like, the main battle obviously is very similar to Token Rambu, and then the boss portion is similar to Ensemble Stars, where you trigger a boss battle basically, and you have to take your team to defeat that boss. And depending on your team's strength, they lower the health of the main boss until you just defeat it. So that's that. Alrighty. Next, we have the orange button. This is basically just scouting. So there are different scouts going on depending. Right now, this guy is the focus of the newest scout. If you follow me on Twitter, you guys will see that I actually pulled him. Or if you were watching a few minutes ago. They also display like what other cards are in the set at the time. Scouting costs $135 for a 10 pole and $15 for a solo, and you can see what cards are in the actual thing. And in here you guys can also see the percentages of URs to SRs and such and so forth. And then you have your regular scouting, which I think this is just for paid. I want to say. Yeah, this is for paid users. And then you have your normal box, and then you have your friend scouting box that uses coins that you will accumulate. Yeah, so that's pretty much the scouting page. Alright, next is the purple card button at the top. This takes you to basically your card list. Well, basically, it takes you to your team page, to be specific. So you can have up to. Wait, 1, 2. You can have up to 10 teams. I had to count, I'm sorry. So these are the teams that I run, and I can clear through maybe I would say 80 to 85% of the tasks to get diamonds in the main story. So if you guys are maybe having trouble, I would say try running these sorts of teams if you're not able to read Japanese. So I have my main team. I just use this team for like events for boss battles. Your strongest cards basically. And then I have a team for every unit. So all of the cards are broken up into like teams. So the entire cast are all broken up into specific groups. So like this army, for instance, is under Nobunaga, and so far and so forth. You can find the easiest way that I go about this is the blue button is automize, the orange button is save. So I usually go in, I clear it all out. So the far button right here selects everything. Unclick that, and then the first option is usually this army. And then for every time I'll save the team, and then I move on to the next team, and then instead I unclick this and then move it forward, and that just basically is all of the teams, and it will automize it all for you, so you don't have to sit there and remember, okay, I think this guy is with this guy, and I think this guy is with the werewolves, and this guy's with the foxes. You don't have to do that. You can just automize it, and it's so easy. Because a lot of the stages will ask for you to use only cards under like Nobunaga's army, and so far and so forth. So this is a good way to knock those stages out. There's also stages that will ask you to use only rare cards, and I have found that rare cards I think are 3 stars. There are stages that will ask you to use normal cards, which are the 1-star cards, and then there will be cards that will ask you to use SR cards, which are the 4-star cards. And then, but again, fill out teams how you want to fill them out. This is just sort of the way that I recommend to clear through probably like 80% of the tasks. Now, there will be tasks that aren't going to be cleared through that, and I still have some that I need to work through. But this will help you get through most of the content to earn you most of the gems that are easier to get in this game. So basically, have your strong team, have your teams based off of each of the armies in the game, have a team for 1 stars, 3 stars, and 4 stars. And yeah. So that's pretty much it. The one thing about this game, there isn't really a place that I have found that you can access your card list besides going to like the potions page. I have not found a way to like sell cards, and there's no way to train a card into another card similar to how you do with idle games and stuff like that. And so I don't know if there's a limit on cards. If you happen to know, please leave that down below and share what knowledge you have with the rest of us. But yeah. And then the last purple button down here is just settings, which is the same with any game. So yeah. The last bit I'm gonna cover is not the gacha. It's the event. So as for right now, events have been all the same. I don't know if they'll really introduce a new type in time, but come on. Another thing that I will say is battle points do not overflow. So keep that in mind if you're trying to like use your battle points wisely. They don't overflow. So if you're close to a level up, try to keep on top of that. Unless you're like me and just don't care. Alright, here we go. So this will happen sometimes during the event. If you will trigger a boss event, you'll be taken to the boss page. You have 13 hours to beat it. For any boss, 13 hours. That's it. For every time that you defeat a boss, you guys can see right here, they will level up. That means that their HP will go up. I want to say that their attack probably goes up too, but for the main thing is that their HP will go up. So you can choose to, the red button, you can choose to dismiss the boss, you don't want to fight it. The green one, you can use your SP, which I accidentally did. And at the top, you guys might have seen next to the BP button, there was an SP button. That only shows up on this page. And you get 5 SP similar to other games, you know, like Ensemble Stars, where you have to fight bosses and stuff. And as you guys can see, this guy is no joke. You will see why I made my 5-star on this team level 200. Or not level 200, but 200% in his stats, because he cannot be one hit at this point. At least I haven't reached the point where he can be one hit anymore. But yeah, that's pretty much that. You get event points, and I might be taken back to the event page. Yes, I am. So this is the event page. This is what it will look like. The top is your ranking. As you guys see, I'm heavily invested in this event. And then down here, the points you have. You can check your rewards by clicking the orange button. You can check your rank, checking this orange button, and all these buttons. And then rewards are pretty much very similar to other games. You can get coins. You can get refresher items, cards, all the like. And the 5-star is at 134, which is actually, I think, better than the last event. It was the same, but the event before, it was a lot harder to get the 5-star, I believe, but I don't remember. But yeah, okay, so up here you guys can see that there's an SP bar, and it refreshes every 20 minutes, I want to say. So yeah. But yeah, so this is Sengoku Night Blood, and very simple game. Pretty automated in the fact that you're just pretty much collecting cards, training them up, and setting them to go out into battle. So I do recommend, if you guys have the chance, please check it out. It's a very fun game. The art, as you guys know, I love the art. It's really pretty. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If there is a tutorial for another game that I play that you guys would like to see, please feel free to let me know. And I will see you guys later. Bye!